welcome to another episode of the Sportscast Jersey Football Chat. This week we are joined by St Brelade's first team manager, Adam Lester. How are you doing, Adam?
Yeah, great. Thanks, mate. Really
Good,
good. Yeah, enjoyed the weather today and went and watched some football out there. So yeah, no, it was good.
good stuff, good stuff. Uh, Before going into this season, I want to touch on last season with St Brelade and the first team. And obviously you were involved, but not as manager. But how do you reflect on last season?
I think it was a positive season for the club. It was an improvement on the season before, and if you look back over the last 5 or 6 years with the club, Johnny done a fantastic job. A really good job to progress the club forward to where it is today. It wasn't 4 or 5 years ago they were in the second division, and you got them all the way into the third position, the Jeremy Cup. Last season it was a good season. There's always things that you can improve and work on, and I certainly, as a player, and a coach who's been coaching for a long while now, not in the senior game obviously, but in junior football and around the island and abroad as well. There's certain things that I pick up on. I'm like, oh, I'd love to do this and I'd love to improve on that. And so, I was kind of going through the season, noticing little things like that I could take into this season, really. So yeah, I think no, it was a positive season. They made some good signings last year as well, to take the club forward and to take them to the next step. And that was the aim again this year, really, was to make another couple of signings and to improve the squad, both on the field and off the field. But just take them forward in terms of coaching as well, because I think there was a lot of things that I felt that I could bring to the squad this year from a coaching standpoint.
Yeah. And just touch on you quickly. Obviously, how happy to be in given this opportunity to coach a senior team in the Premiership.
Yeah, super happy. It's something that I looked at for a while. For those that know me around local football, know that I've done a lot of coaching in the past. I've taken junior teams, taken the current St Brelade's under 18s for a few years when they were younger, and brought them over from First Tower at what were they, under eights, under nines, something like that, many years ago. And then obviously had St Paul's as well from under 16s through to under 18s, and thoroughly enjoyed that. That was some of the best years coaching there with that team. And then I always knew that. I mean, I'm not old. I'm only 33, but I just felt I get more out of coaching these days. I'm like, come a Monday or even a Sunday, the day after the previous game, I'm like looking forward to the next game already, and I'm getting that buzzing feeling on a Monday. And I never really got that as a player over the last few years. Kind of went through the motions as a player a little bit. So for me, the coaching thing, I felt it was the right time. I knew Johnny was stepping down, and we had a great squad here. And a squad that I felt I could do a few bits with, to a few small tweaks to make big improvements. And I feel like it was done. It's been all right so far. It's been good. Time consuming, but good.
Yeah, coaching is. I think that's what a lot of people don't see. You touched on it just before. You brought in a few new faces this season. How happy are you with the squad and who you brought in as well?
Thoroughly happy. I mean, I can't ask for much more at the moment. The boys are giving me everything, and with the addition of a bit of experience, Mikey Weir and Daryl Wilson on top of what we already had, and having that top under 18 team as well. A lot of juniors coming through: Charlie Brennan, Ed Jeffries, Tom Beeson, Damo, and a few others who are going to get opportunities as well throughout the season, because they're a fantastic bunch of players, and they turn up to training a lot. Dan Andrade, Charlie Sterling, Sam Watling, all these top players, top junior players, and it helps a lot senior football having that top junior team, and being able to call upon some really exciting young talent, and mix them with the experience that we have, and it's been positive so far having them on board.
Yeah, definitely. How big is that for St Brelade's? Obviously, you got your experienced players. I want to say experienced players, but a lot of them are just a year above me, and we're not old yet. But how important is that to bring them in and give them the opportunity of first team football?
Well, for me, it's massive. I've done a lot of junior coaching over the years with the centre, St Paul's, Brelade, and all of them. And I've always been big on youth. I knew coming into this role, I wanted to use them a lot more than they may have been over the last year or so. And they're all top age under 18s. Yeah, we're gonna lose a few. There're gonna be a few that go to uni. There's gonna be some that stay. But that's part and parcel of local amateur football. It is what it is, and players move on, and especially young players. And I would always encourage them to do that. I think there's a lot more to the world than just this small island. So I would always encourage the boys to do that. But yeah, it's been great for us this year to be able to call upon them. And yeah, and I'll be looking to do that for the rest of the season as well. And they've been brilliant when they've come in as well. Charlie Brennan's been fantastic. I mean, I know, he's been in the papers and all over Sportscast for cricket, football, and all this kind of stuff that he does. But he's been solid for us at the back, and Ed will get more chances. Damo has been flying the last couple of games, so he's going to keep getting more chances. And Tom Bison, what an improvement he's made this season as well in goal. He's kept his place in the first team the last 4 games, and there's been no reason why I've had to drop him. Yes, I'm going to mix between him and Josh throughout the season, but that's part and parcel.
Yeah, definitely. How pleased are you with the start you've made and the games that you have played so far?
Pre-season, I wasn't pleased. And then we've pulled things together. We've worked a lot off the pitch. If you looked at the scoreline, you'll probably notice we haven't worked too much on our defence and shutting up shop. But I think that's just me as a coach. I mean, if you look at some of the results I had as St Paul's under-18 manager, there's some big results there. I think being a Leeds fan, it's very, in my mind, I could say, I want us to be hard to beat, but then I've got Bielsa or someone like that on my shoulder going attack, attack, attack. So that's always just something like sharp shop, and then I'm telling the fullbacks to push on. So it's just me as a coach. I like to have my team playing fluid, attacking football, getting the ball in behind, and mixing things up in terms of getting the ball short and going long and direct at times. I think it's important so the opposition don't know what you're doing. But I've thoroughly enjoyed the start to the season so far.
Yeah, good stuff. In terms of the season as a whole, what are the goals that you set out maybe to the lads, and what are the goals for the team this year?
To win the league. I mean, it's simple as that. I mean, for us, you look back, St Brelade have never won a top division trophy, never won the league, So for me, it's about, progression, and progression would be to win something. And for me, I don't know if I see this being a long term thing. Maybe 2 years, maybe 3. I don't know yet. I'm just going to go with the flow. I'm not someone who really sets out long term goals. Because anything can happen in life. So for me, it was I wanted to come in this season. Is the squad in a position to go on and win the league? Absolutely. If they work hard, if they do the work off the pitch, if they listen to myself and Paul on the pitch and off it as well, and help each other out, on the pitch as well. I think we're definitely in a very good position. I think for me, it's a super competitive league this year, right?
Yeah.
You've got ourselves, St Peter's, St Clements, Grouville, all these teams that could really, push on and on their day beat anyone. St Paul's have shown that as well. They've got a cracking young team there, who on their day when they turn up with the quality they have could beat anyone.
Yeah.
So I think for me, it's about what team is really going to have their strongest team out for the majority of the season, and a bit of potluck here and there. Are you going to play stronger teams at times where they've got a few players missing? Are you not? Are you going to have a few players back from uni or whatever it is at times in the season? It's a bit of potluck as well. But I think you do the work in the training ground, and I think we'll progress quite well.
Yeah, definitely. I'm finishing these kind of podcasts with the same kind of question to everyone, and that's simply, what's your opinion on local football as a whole in general right now?
I think competitive for one, like I just mentioned before. I think the first division is as more competitive, or as competitive as I can remember it. St Paul's dominated for years, and then we've had a different winner for the last few seasons as well, which is great. It's only good for local football, right? Because there's not just one team dominating, where they're going to attract the best players all the time. There's multiple clubs, and I think a lot of players these days are looking for that club that's going to treat them well, I guess, as well as a competitive team. But genuinely, on their day, any team could be anyone in this league at the moment. There's no gimmies at all. But local football, I think it's great. I think stuff like this. I think social media platforms, clubs now are able to promote themselves really well, promote the team, promote players, all that kind of stuff. And that wasn't around, in previous years. So I think that's only improved the enjoyment factor across local football. And I think that's key in amateur football. It's got to be enjoyable. I could, in my head, I'm thinking ahead towards training, going, oh, I want to do this. I want to do tactical. I want to do phases of play. I want to do this kind of stuff. And it's like, well, actually, these are amateur players. Are they gonna turn up and enjoy it? Well, they're not going to enjoy necessarily a tactical session every single week. So you've got to throw some different sessions in here and there. But yeah, I mean, there's so much for people to do these days. I think the enjoyment factor has got to be there, But I think, and I think I'm very grateful as well to the JFA for the increased amount of games, because I was a little bit worried we were only going to have about 12 league games this season at one point.
Yeah.
And I know there was a bit of gripe about that, but no, I'm grateful that common sense prevailed across everyone, the clubs, the JFA, everyone there, to get some more games in, because it's what players want. They want to turn up on a Saturday, they want to play, midweek games, that kind of stuff. I think for me personally, I would like to see some more midweek games personally in local football. The use of Lekeneve, the use of Springfield a bit more. I know it's tough because they have to book it out and they have to get bodies on that pitch on a regular basis, but that would be one thing I would like to see in the future, I guess.
No, definitely. Adam, that's all from me. Thank you for your time, and good luck to you and all at St Brelade this season.
No worries, Dan. Thanks a lot, mate. Appreciate it.
Cheers, mate. Thank you to everyone who's watched this and listened to this. Another football episode is coming soon.